Человек под дождем Ларри Кинг.
Mr. King, through the years, you've seen most powerful people in the world, most powerful politicians, and you've spoken to Mr. Putin. Your personal feeling, what kind of characteristics would be the most to describe him?
Well, I've talked to him on the phone and interviewed him twice, once in person at the UN meeting some years back, and then by satellite, which he was very kind at the end to say, don't leave. And I told him yesterday that I'll be coming here next May. I look forward to spending time with him. Politics aside, I liked him very much. I agreed with George Bush that he has a quality. Now, successful politicians have certain qualities. I think he would be, if he lived in America, he'd be elected to office there too. He has, I don't know what it is, there's a look about him, an attitude, whether you agree or disagree, he enters a room well. You know, you have that or you don't. You either have it or you don't, and he has it. He's a good politician.
If you were to interview him now, once he indicated his intentions to run for the office for the period that might end up not even 6 but 12 years potentially, if you were to interview him now, what would be the most important question you would have addressed him?
Why? Why do you want to come back? Why do you need to come back? Obviously there's a need. Prime Minister.
His need or the country's need?
Prime Minister's a nice job. I can't get into, I never got in anyone's mind. I've never known anyone who could read minds. People say they can, I don't know that anyone can. So I can't read his mind. My guess would be is you miss power. Power's an aphrodisiac. Power can be contagious. Dangerous power can be bad. But when you're in the middle of all the action, I've talked to former presidents, Clinton and others, and there are moments when you miss, like I'm not in the action every night. I miss it some nights. You know, you want to be there. Presidents get up in the morning and they're given every information. When you're not president, you don't have all that. You must miss it. On the other hand, you miss the grief. You like hearing people criticize you. You like hearing people stand on the corner and say you're a jerk. You know, it's a two-sided coin. But my first question would be why?
If you were to interview Mr. Medvedev, who is leaving now.
Well, I don't know him. From what I hear, I would like him very much. I'd ask the same thing. Why did he accept this? He obviously very loyal to the party. When he made the arrangement, obviously he had to make that some years ago. Why did he make the arrangement? Isn't there a feeling inside of him? Is there a feeling inside of him that, you know, I'm pretty popular now. I bet I could join another party and run against him. Does he feel that way? Or does he have such intense loyalty? A lot of questions to ask him. There might be more to ask him than to ask Mr. Putin.
There's been much talk about, you know, U.S. democracy versus Russian democracy. And Mr. Putin usually takes offense on Western media when they criticize his actions or, you know, saying that U.S. democracy has, you know, saying the same kitchen, but sort of the different serving.
Well, he's got a point. Our democracy started in 1776, not really to 1781. That's a long time. We're the oldest democracy in the world. It's not easy being a democracy. Most people would, John Kennedy once said, most people would like a kind king. And we went through some contentious times. This is a country, the United States had slavery. People fought to keep slavery. So there's trials and tribulations. Mr. Putin's point is well taken, is you're so young. You're like this, you're a baby. So you discover things and there's trial and error. It's not easy for one country's democracy to be another country's democracy. There are cultural differences, the vastness of this country, your geography is much larger. You have 8 time zones. I'd say maybe it's apples and oranges.
But how would you attribute the state of democracy which we have now? Can it be compared to any other country?
I don't.
I mean, Arab countries?
This is my first visit here. All I know is what I've read in the American press. I think you're struggling. Obviously, some people have been enormously successful. Someone told me that Moscow has the most billionaires in the world next to New York. Well, if you can create billionaires, that means billionaires put people to work. I would imagine you have pretty good employment rate. But again, you can't come here for one day and judge your country. But as I said, you can't. One country has had such a history with it, another country is just developing it. Give it a chance.
But from the overseas, what kind of picture do you get about the Russian democracy? Is it a democracy?
I thought it was more democratic than it is.
Really?
I was surprised to learn tonight that there are some still tough areas you're going through. There's not total freedom of speech. I didn't know. I thought there's total freedom of speech in Russia. Apparently there is not. As if that's true, you would know better than I.
How did you feel that, though?
I was surprised. Is it true? I don't know. I would assume that any Russian could stand on any street corner and say anything and not be punished. I would hope you don't have political prisoners. Countries without freedom. America would not be America without the First Amendment to our Constitution. The First Amendment says it guarantees that Congress shall make no law abridging the right of freedom of speech. Now, that's pretty strong language. Congress shall make no law taking your right of freedom of speech away. Well, if we didn't have that, we wouldn't be America. I don't know your Constitution. I don't know if it says language as strong as that. No law abridging the right of freedom of speech.
Could you wish something to the independent media in Russia?
What I would wish the independent media in Russia is independence. Remain independent. Be true to your cause, which is search for the truth. There's nothing better than we do than search for the truth.
Thank you so much, Mr. King.
Thank you,
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, that was very good.
Человек под дождем Ларри Кинг.